Hello guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Uchi. If you're new here, guys, and I have with me
Vida.
Okay, all right. So today we'll be reacting to a Catholic sister asked Yusuf It's why he accepted Islam. So Yusuf It's used to be a Christian and he's a converted, and he's been one of the biggest scholars of Islam. When you talk
Okay.
about not just Islam, but he studies a lot, but he practices Islam. He's a Muslim, and he comes out openly. He says it. He gives you reasons why he preaches it. He speaks to people. He holds seminars and the rest of that. So it is well recognized. Guys, always wasting your time. Let's get right into this.
Yeah.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم.
Sister, thank you for waiting. Would you please state your name and occupation, then state your question?
I'm Sakina D'Souza, and I'm a Catholic. I believe Brother Yusuf was a Catholic before. I would like to ask him the simple question. He was brought up like a Catholic, but what made him change? Doesn't he believe that the Messiah is true, or did he ever feel that the Catholic religion, has not brought up any Messiah and the Bible is false? I would like to just know what that means, because he said he was a Catholic before and now he has become a Muslim. What made you change? What was that storyline before? Doesn't he believe that there is a Messiah, or the Messiah had come, saved us, died on the cross?
Thank you very much for a good question. I hate to disappoint you, but I wasn't a Catholic. But I was with a Catholic priest the night that he accepted Islam. And I asked him these questions you asked me. Because after all, I was still a Christian, a preacher in Christianity, and I wanted to know why my best friend, a Catholic priest, had converted. That's a pretty weird thing. A Catholic priest is not like a regular preacher in the Protestant religion. A Catholic priest has given up everything. He's given up his life to be a Catholic priest. When he enters into this realm, he's basically given away everything. He can't have a wife, he can't have children, obviously no grandchildren. He has no home, he just lives in a rectory or wherever they give him a place to stay. And he's sent wherever they tell him to go, do whatever he's told to do, and that's it. And he cannot disobey the Pope, otherwise they can kick him out of the religion, and if they do, he's excommunicated and he goes to hell forever. So how would a person like this want to become one of those Muslim terrorists? That's what I wanted to know. He explained in a very few beautiful words something that I came to learn for myself. He said that he was sincerely in the Catholic religion because he believed in God, that he had studied, his degree was in theology, and a part of the teaching that they as priests have is to study Islam. Every priest is forced to study Islam. Now, you may not know that, but you can ask your priest and he'll confirm it. And when you study Islam, even when Islam is taught to you by somebody who hates Islam, as long as they don't corrupt it too far, you can still see the truth in Islam. A classical example happened to me just recently when I was in Saudi Arabia. A friend of mine, very old copy of one of the first Qurans ever translated to English by George Sale. George Sale hated Islam, he hated the Muslims, but when he translated the Quran to English, he was true to the text of the words. Although maybe not getting all the meaning, he certainly was true to the text of the words. I was shocked when I read it. Have you seen it? You know what I'm talking about? Amazing. And listen to this. George Bernard Shaw, for instance, is one of many, a long list of people who read this and realized the truth of Islam. When people see the truth of Islam, it can change them if they want to be guided. If they want the truth, it can change them. You might think, I'm a Catholic, I'll never be anything but a Catholic. But I'm going to ask you a question, and I want you to be honest. This is not for you to, start a debate, but just be honest. Was Jesus a Catholic? And it's not open to debate, so there's no point in opening that up, because you know and I know he wasn't. The Catholic Church was in business about 300 years before Jesus was born. It's on their website. Don't go like this. It's on their website. That's where I took it from. The Catholic Church was really started in Rome by Alexander the Great. Do you know what the word Catholic means? It means universal. It was the universal church for the Roman Empire. If you didn't join it, you could not be a Roman citizen. And it was opposed to the teachings of Judaism and opposed to the teachings of the early Christians for more than 200 and some years. And they were diametrically opposed to each other to the extent that it was the Romans killing the early Christians. Now, if you understand that and you go to their website and read, they didn't even take over Christianity until the year 325 AD. And when they did, they changed a lot of things, again, referring to their own website. But if you want to check it in Britannica or Americana or grow your encyclopedias, go ahead and read about the Catholic Church. When, in August of 325 AD, at the Nicaea Council, they took over, first thing they said was, let's change the date of the birth of Jesus to be the same date as that of Mithras, which was the god, one of the gods worshipped there, and also the sun god's birthday was the same day, December the 25th, believing it to be the shortest day of the year. And Constantine was a sun worshiper of Sol Invictus. Go to the website, read it for yourself. There are a lot of points, but not the least of which, even today, if you go in any Catholic church, and I have, you'll see so many portraits and statues and idols and images throughout the whole place that for the one who's never experienced that, for a Muslim who knows about these images, he'll be like, whoa, a'udhu billah. Whoa, what's this? The first time I walked in a Catholic church, I was about 10 years old. I was shocked. I was shocked at the idols and statues everywhere, because in the Protestant religion, we were brought up to believe that the second commandment was just as important as the first commandment. The first commandment in the Bible, in Exodus, is the same as the first commandment in the book of Deuteronomy. It says, I'm the Lord your God that brought you out of the land of Egypt in the house of bondage. You know no other God beside me. Beside me, there's no other gods. Thou shalt not have any other gods beside me. How many in this room agree with that commandment? Raise your hand.
Okay, so we're talking about this and the idols here in terms of Catholic, and I always had this thing. I like, okay, they said, the Bible said, right, and we claim we worship or we practice what the Bible teaches. And he just called out the first commandment. The second one says, no image or likeness should be made, you know. And we go to Catholic churches, we see a lot of idols, a lot of statues and the rest of that, and they pray. But it was very clear that no idols, you shouldn't bow to any idols or any image or likeness of God. So what exactly is this? You know, I spoke with a friend of mine who is Catholic, and it's almost causing issue. I was like, no, this is you're worshiping idols, because this is idolatry. Straight to the, like, I give it to him and like, look, because if you read it,
pray to the statues.
Yeah, God says there's not, like, you shouldn't pray to him. Yeah, so not bowing down to this thing like he's representing God and the rest of that, you know. And I find out why it's very clear, boldly written in the Bible, and people still, I don't know, either they don't read or don't search for themselves, or they just don't want to be corrected, you know, a whole lot of things. And you see, he's talking about the sun god and the rest. You see, there's this cross kind of like the Catholics. I go to church, I see them, they carry. I've been to the Catholic church, I think twice. When I used to be in school then. So they used to have this competition in school then in Nigeria. So we played and we won that competition. So we went there as we were invited to come, and so I saw that was the first time. Another time I followed somebody, so that was like the 2 times I've been to Catholic church. You know, I saw them with this sun kind of this at the middle of the cross, you know. I like, they started coming together to me like sun god, because I used to hear people talk about the sun god and the Catholic, the Romans, they worship the sun god, and the things they did some mix up and the rest of that, you know. everything started coming together, and I saw. So I went. The person I went with the first time I went to a Catholic church, we got there, and she'll get there, they bow to it, like and the rest of them walking. And I was standing there, I was looking like, what? I said, what? Like,
You're not going to
no,
do
I'm not
that.
doing that. And she was like, we went in and we got inside the church, and we kneel down, we stand up, we kneel down, we stand up. I sat down, and like, no, this thing, everything's looking strange to me here. Like, a lot of things are looking strange to me. So yeah, that is one thing that I've always had issues with. If there's any Catholic on one of my subscribers, please can you explain to me that? Because to me, I believe it's idolatry. The Bible says no likeness, no image. We shouldn't worship any other. We should. And then this is going on and a long while, and with a lot of education. See, in the past, I believe because back in the days we didn't have a lot of educated. Most of our parents were not that educated. They couldn't read
So they're
because
just
of
following the crowd.
talking. They take it from the mouth of the priests, the bishops.
Once the priest says
yes, that is it.
It's final.
But now we have the internet. We have a lot of
vast
materials.
knowledge.
Yes, we could actually dispute. We could actually argue, and the rest of that. We could actually search for ourselves. And read meaning and context into a lot of things, and still we just go on with the bandwagon as it has been so let's continue. And that is why a lot of changes don't come in as believers, as people who want to who listens to the will of God. We should follow how God has stated. We should be able to search, we should be able to read, we should be able to find out the truth for ourselves, not just taking what people say. As a lot of people get into issues, especially in Christianity. My pastor said, my papa said, my daddy said, they take it, and you see people doing a lot of things, and you be like, are these people with their right senses? Like, you could see educated people, professors, doctors, and my pastor said, my papa said, and you're looking at things that they told them to do, it's just quite ridiculous. Like, it shouldn't make sense to anybody. Like, who is matured, who is grown, who is educated. Like, you just put these factors all together, and you just be dumbfounded about things people do, by just hearing what their religious leader has said, or the person in charge of their denomination. It's just crazy. All right, guys, let's continue.
You notice the Muslims are raising their hand because it means Ashhadu la ilaha illallah. That's the first commandment for us as well. The second commandment you have clearly says, thou shalt not make any idol, any graven image of anything that creeps upon the earth, swims in the sea beneath, or flies in the air above. And I was sitting in a church one time, sitting there in the morning service, watching, the preacher talk. And, they go on and on and on. And sometimes you lose your train of thought. I was looking. Whoa! On the front of the podium, there was a fish for the symbol, make you fishers of men. It had a fish. I said, whoa. Then I looked up above his head at the big stained glass window, and it had a dove, and he had the olive branch in his mouth. The dove is flying, the bird, I said, whoa. And then I look over here, and there's a cross with a man hanging on it. I said, wow, they didn't miss a single one. They got them all. Something walking on the earth, something swimming in the sea beneath, something flying in the air above. So look at these two things. Clearly, the first two of the 10 commandments, bang, bang, boom. Because if you said God is more than one, where did you get it from? When Jesus is talking to his own companions and they ask him, what's the greatest commandment? Mark 12:29. Clear. The greatest commandment is to know, O Israel, the Lord your God is one God. And you have to love him with all your heart and all your mind and all your strength. And this is no different from what Prophet Muhammad ﷺ was saying, the same thing to his people. Same thing I mentioned in the lecture. This is certainly for us the same. So what you see is Muslims practicing the commandments, and you see people claiming the commandments but practicing something else. And I have seen more converts from the Catholic Church than any other of the many sects of Christianity, and especially from the nuns priests, and even an archbishop. And all of them are better than me. Those guys and women that I see do this, they still sacrifice their whole life to get the true message of Islam, not only to you, but to Muslims as well, because we all need to know about it. But thanks for a great question.
Wow. You see, there's something I tell people. It's about your conviction, it's about your faith, about what you believe in. If you search, if you go, if you search for looking for the truth, it's about the conviction for you. You know, most people will be like, nah, because my parents are born, I was born into Christianity, I was born into Islam, I was born this,
I was baptized
yeah,
there,
you
and
know,
all that.
and you just stick to it. You know, mostly especially here in Ghana, you hear people say, "Oh, I don't attend that church. This is the church they born me into." Even though things are going wrong, they say that no, this is my
That's the
family
truth.
church. And you know, a lot of things, and it just continues and continues, and we keep on in these lies. We keep on in false ways, you know, because we don't want to challenge the status quo. We just want everything to be the way it is.
The
We
way
don't
we've
want to
been
change.
told
Yes, the
they
way.
are.
Yeah, exactly. We just maintain that way. Forward march, and we'll march forward. About turn, we turn back. For you know, just like a military people, just obey before complain. You know, just military ways. Yes, 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 sir. And like a lot of things we see in our mind, we feel like, why is this so?
It's wrong.
Yeah, but then we just let it be. We just let like it's not our business. But
that's how it has been.
Yeah,
that's what we do here.
But then I think it's high time we change. High time we search for the truth. High time we find. We have to read. We have to search for the truth. If we don't search for these things, we won't get this conviction. Me, I don't have issues if someone comes like, oh, my brother who is my brother is a Christian. We're all Christians, and I say, oh, to me, I feel I'm going to become a Muslim. It's your decision, it's your choice. There's a reason why you've seen something. Yeah, I see something and you're going for it. Why not? I don't have issues. I have Muslim friends, even though I really didn't understand what the religion was talking about. Even most of them didn't really understand. Yeah, so sometimes when I ask some questions, they don't even know how to explain to me. Actually, I attended a Muslim primary school.
Okay.
So yeah, I knew bits. I heard bits, and you know, I attended some Islamic religious classes. You know, but I didn't really understand what was going on. But this past few weeks, I've really broadened my mind. You know, like I've gotten some knowledge which I didn't know about before. You know, and it's been amazing. And you could see the way it was explaining to this person, like literally, especially Catholic, we always have, especially the Pentecostal and the Catholics, they're always clashing because of a whole lot of things we don't agree with, you know, especially that of the idolatry part. We believe this is idolatry. This is what the Bible says. You're reading the Bible, you're still going doing the same thing. Your priest is doing the same thing, and you just want, boom, you know. And it's always clashes, you know, especially when this happens. So yeah, it's about your conviction. It's about searching for the truth. It's about reading and using your brain and using your head to think. You know, that's what I believe in. I just believe when you look out for the truth, it will surely find you. That's just the truth.
Yeah.
So, you have anything to say?
No, I think you've said it all.
Yeah. So, yes, guys. So that is what I have for today. And if you have any suggestions to make this channel better, or any recommendation you want to bring for videos for us to react, can you drop that in the comment section? Just comment in the comment section, listen to write better. That's what I have to say. And don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, guys. So come away next time.
Bye-bye.